Clerk Jones, since we already are running late, we do have a quorum. Why don't we go on and take a roll call, and then we can try and start the poll hearing.
We'll do that. Here's a roll call for the poll hearing that was to be held 25 minutes ago, running late on January 10th. Councilor Cameron.
Here.
Councilor Donahue. Did someone say she's an attendee?
She's trying to call in.
Okay.
I'll come in.
Councilor Khan.
Present.
Councilor McCauley.
Present.
Councilor Lane.
Here.
Councilor Preston.
Present.
Councilor Shan.
Present.
Councilor Vogel.
Present.
Councilor Wallace.
Present.
Councilor Wright.
Present.
Wonderful. And Councilor Zede.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, Clerk Jones, would you like to read the poll hearing announcement?
Yes, I would. Paraphrasing, this notice was given that a public hearing would be held at this time and place with respect to Story Avenue. It was made by National Grid to relocate a JO pole 8-84 on Story Avenue, beginning at a point approximately 173 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Park Circle and approximately 23 in a north direction, per customer request to relocate from private property to public property. Location was shown on the plan that was attached. They also are seeking permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires in the above or intersecting public ways for the purpose of making connections with such poles and buildings as each of said petitioners may desire. That is it in a nutshell.
All right, per our normal operating procedures with a poll hearing, we open it up to comments. If there is someone who would like to speak in favor of the poll movement, please raise your hand. I'm going to allow phone number 617 to speak. And you are muted on your end. I ask that you state your name and your address.
Yes, hello. My name is Paulo Sackler. I'm an engineer for National Grid, and my address is 218 Fairmount Avenue, Saugus, Mass. The property owner for 14 Story Ave requests National Grid to relocate a pole in their property because we do not have current easements for that, so we have to relocate that pole on the public way to support an existing infrastructure there. So we're not adding cable or anything other than just really maintaining our system there. So if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer that tonight.
Okay. Is there any additional public? I don't see anyone else's hand raised. So if you have, there's the name. So Patti-Ann Lastennet.
Yes, hi, this is Patti-Ann Lastennet. I actually live on 14 Story Ave as part of the property, but I was not the property owner requesting the pole change. I'm not opposed to it, but I would like to clearly understand the location of the new pole so that I can ensure it's not in front of my lot. And in addition to that, I would like to understand if there would be any disturbance to my lot's property from the viewpoint of a new landscape and garden plantings that I had put in. So if I can be reassured that those two items, the pole not being directly in front of my lot and disturbance to the lot, then I have no objection.
Mr. Stafford,
Okay.
can you speak to that?
Yes, for any disturbances on grass in those areas. What we disturb, we replant. So if there's something in the way, right where
Yeah,
the pole
I
will
want to
go.
understand which lot it's going to be on. Is it actually on lot A or lot B? And then I have to actually, I'm not at home right now, so I have to go back and look at which lot is mine. But so what you're saying is they would replace it, and that would include hardscape as well?
Yeah, we plan on putting it in right now in the current grass area right next to on Story Ave. It will be located next to the eastern bank across the street, but actually it's on your side of the street, but it's going to be towards that part of the street, which is not your lot. Because your lot, you access your property, your driveway from Story Ave, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so it's going to be to the left. If you're looking at your property, it's going to be to the left side where that long wooden fence is, about 30 to 40 feet down. After the
Okay,
fence.
so it would actually be in front of the fence.
Correct.
Okay. And then the other part about any wiring or anything like that on my lot, or coming into the grass on my lot or the hardscape lot, is that not happening? Is that on the other lot as well?
Yeah, it's actually happening all in the public right away. We plan on removing all the wires and the existing pole on your neighbor's lot due to their request. So it's not going to be on anybody's private property. We did mark out the area of the pole, but I think due to the snow, it was covered up. But there was somebody there to at least try to do that for anybody that had any questions too. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, because what I'm hearing is that it's not going to come onto my lot at all. And then the pole is not, and nor is the wire. So yeah, I think I have my answer.
Okay,
All right,
great, thank you.
Are there any other attendees who want to raise their hand and ask a question? If not, I'll bring it back into the counselors where we have 4 counselors to speak. All right, counselors. Well, before we do that, is there anyone that's opposed that wants to raise their hand in the attendees list? All right, then I will bring it back into the counselors. So counselors Counselor Lane, I think your hand was first.
Great, thank you. I'm very familiar with this pole and this property. Patti-Ann, they won't, the pole is in the backyard of Chasen, or was it Chasen Road, 7 Chasen? So that's actually A and you are B. So the pole is moving from that backyard just beyond where her driveway is when you go into the right and being placed almost perpendicular out onto Story Ave. So it doesn't come across your property and it shouldn't even come close to you. This one's kind of a no-brainer. It runs right through the property there for Mrs. Koopman. Like I said, I am very familiar with this, and it's a nuisance, and this is probably long overdue. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor McCauley.
Oh, thank you. Just a quick question. The proposed location of the telephone pole, I know you said it was in the grassy area, but there's not a lot of grassy area there in relation to the sidewalk. Will it infringe on the sidewalk at all going forward from access, or do you think it can all be contained and maintain the integrity of the sidewalk?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking that. The pole is going to be in the grassy area, and we do have we're going to have more than the 4 feet required for ADA access, so we won't be impeding that sidewalk by any means.
Thank you.
Okay. With that being said, both counselors, I think all the counselors are done. I'm going to close the poll hearing. Now, per normal operating procedures in the past, we typically would move this to a committee. I think we used to move it to public utilities, but I would take a motion to do so. think maybe it's Neighborhood and City Services now.
So moved.
Uh, No, it's a,
All those in favor, let's take a roll call vote, just so everyone understands we're moving this to Committee on Public Utilities.
Correct. I've got a first by Councilor McCauley, seconded by Councilor Lane. Roll
Correct.
call. Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
yes,
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
and Councilor Shan.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, well, that is it for the poll hearing. Thank you all for attending and the attendees. Clerk Jones, I think now we go for our third bite at the apple tonight.
We do. I mean, we're now moving into the city council meeting, which, bear with me for 1 minute. Which has the same Zoom, so we don't need to worry about Zoom, I trust. And we have just a regular remote agenda that we would be starting right now. I don't think we need to do another roll call because we're all here and we just did one.
I would agree.
We have a moment of silence if you wish, pledge of allegiance.
Which we've always ended in the past since we do not have a flag, and we've gotten to the call of order. So next is committee assignments.
To be announced.
All right, so I will announce them here. Clerk Jones already does have them, but just so everyone is aware, Budget and Finance Chair is Councilor Zede with Councilor Khan and Councilor Wright as members. Planning and Development, it's Councilor Cameron as the chair with Councilor Preston and Councilor Wallace as members. Councilor Wallace will be chairing Neighborhood and City Services with Councilor Donahue and Councilor Preston as members. License and Permits will be chaired by Councilor Lane with Councilor Cameron and Councilor McCauley as members. Education will be chaired by Councilor Khan with Councilor Donahue and Councilor Lane as members. Public Utilities will be chaired by Councilor Vogel with Councilor McCauley and Councilor Wright as members. Public Safety will be chaired by Councilor McCauley with Councilor Donahue and Councilor Wright as members. Rules Committee will be chaired by Councilor Vogel with Councilor Shand and Councilor Lane. And General Government will be chaired by me, and then Councilor Vogel and Councilor Zede will be the members. As far as the additional committees, the Ad Hoc Market Landing, we will have the three prior councilors, Councilor Zede, Councilor McCauley, and myself, with the additions of Councilor Cameron and Councilor Preston. The Ad Hoc Committee on Economic Development will be Councilor Zede, Councilor McCauley, and myself. For the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee will be Councilor McCauley, Councilor Wallace, and Councilor Donahue. Zoning Advisory Committee is Councilor Khan, Councilor Cameron, and myself. And the Parking Advisory Committee will be Councilor Khan and myself. I believe that covers everything. Hopefully there are no surprises there. All right, with that,
Leads us to late files.
all right,
So there is one late file. It's appointment 297. It's a reappointment. It's Dr. Robin Blair to the Board of Health till January 1st, 2025. It's a 3-year appointment.
Motion to waive the rules and accept the late file.
Second.
all those in favor, roll call vote.
Roll call for waiving the rules. Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
yes,
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Shan,
Yes,
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
Councilor Wright.
Yes.
all right,
Public comment.
all right. Per our normal Zoom procedures, if you would like to make a public comment, please raise your virtual hand. You have 2 minutes. You would need to state your name and your address. And I'm going to just give folks a minute to raise their hand, and I'll read off the list of names. And then after that, we'll close the numbers. I only see one hand right now. The name is Jimmy Stewart. And you're muted on your end, Mr. Stewart.
Hello, yes, my name is Jimmy Stewart and I live at 351 High Street. And my comment is in regards to the recent COVID-19 numbers, and specifically, I'm curious if there's anything being done in regards to the number of hospital beds in Anna Jake's Hospital, which appear to be at a low since they've at least been reported. I think it goes back to mid-2020. My suspicion is that that probably has to do with staffing, but if that's something anyone could comment on, I would greatly appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stewart. And that is it for public comment. I should note that public comment is meant for items on our agenda, but I do appreciate your comments on the COVID, and I don't believe there's anyone on the council that can speak to that, but we do have mayor's update coming up. So with that being said, I think that is next on the agenda. So is Mayor Reardon? There he is. All right, Mayor Reardon.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Nice to see all these familiar faces. I just want, so I'm going to just kind of zip through a couple different subjects here tonight on my first mayor's report. First, I want to thank everyone who attended the inauguration. Obviously it was an incredible experience for my family and myself. I'm both thrilled and honored to be the 69th mayor of the city of Newburyport. I want to welcome all you back to the first meeting of the night. We just came from our joint city council school committee meeting that went really well. I want to welcome the new counselors to the city council, particularly Jenny Donahue, Connie Preston, Mark Wright, and welcoming back for his second stint, Ed Cameron. I also want to congratulate Sarah Hall, Juliet Walker, and Brian Callahan for their successful elections to the school committee. I'm really looking forward to a positive relationship with both the council and the school committee this year, and I want to thank you for all in advance for all your support. This past Friday, we had our first snowstorm. I want to give a huge shout out to the DPS department for all their hard work early Friday morning into Saturday. They were down 7 drivers and was still able to do just really a wonderful job getting our streets cleared. Again, it was a lot of hard work. I also wanted to thank the police department for all their efforts in supporting us. Some COVID-19 updates. We're continuing to be very mindful of COVID. It looks like we're going to hit that peak next week, and it's going to be that 10 days of being in that surge. So we really have to buckle down. We are hosting some free COVID antigen testing clinics for the community at the Newburyport Harbor Master Department on January 11th, 13th, 18th, and 20th. There's also some vaccination clinics available through the Lower Merrimack Regional Collaborative at the West Newbury Annex on January 17th, 24th, and 31st. Currently, we have 244 cases through January 6th. That is more than we had for the whole month of January last year. And again, we're going to continue to see those numbers rise as we get into the surge next week. This has impacted staff here at City Hall. We had to close the building department on Friday with a number of people out for COVID. As I mentioned previously, we had 7 of our DPS workers out last week as well, and that impacted how we were able to our winter operations for the storm. Moving forward, again, just to reference what happened on December 30th, the Board of Health voted on an indoor mask mandate in response to the recent surge of the surrounding community. So I do urge everyone to continue being vigilant and wearing masks indoors in and around Newburyport. This is going to be revisited again February 1st. And I was in a call today, but I'm on weekly calls with Anna Jake's, getting updated on how they're handling the surge. They're at full capacity right now, and they have about 27 beds currently with COVID patients. That was the data I got this morning. In our schools since January 3rd, we have 35 staff and 165 students test positive for COVID. And just today, the state has extended the in-school mask requirements, and that's going to be extended to February 28th. Just some health department updates as well. Some of you I've spoke to about this, but I just wanted to announce that Frank Giacalone will be leaving the health department to join the town of Danvers as their health director. We, of course, wish Frank well and thank him for all his years of service. This position, as you know, is a state-appointed position, and our Board of Health will work with the Human Resources Department to begin that hiring process, and we will keep you in the loop on that. I have a couple announcements for my mayor's office hiring. I'm pleased to announce that we have hired a chief of staff and an executive assistant for the mayor's office. First, Andrew Levine will join our chief of staff on January 27th. He comes to us as the most recent director of administrative services for the town of Billerica, where he currently is managing all facets of the town manager's office. Prior to that, Andrew worked for Massachusetts Development as a TDI operations officer, where he oversaw an economic development program for 10 Massachusetts gateway cities. He is also a graduate of Georgetown with a Bachelor of Arts in Government, and he holds a Master in Public Policy from the John F. Kennedy School of Government in Harvard University. And I am really, really excited that we were able to bring Andrew on board. Also for the executive assistant for the mayor's office, Christine Jackson will begin on January 18th. She is coming to us from the Brooks School in North Andover, so more private school setting, but she has over 12 plus years of administrative experience, a lot of great skills. I really hit it off with her right off the bat. She holds a bachelor's degree in English from St. Michael's College. And so she'll be starting on the 17th, and Donna M will be sticking around to help her with that transition, which is really great. There's one more position I'm looking to add. It's a part-time position, and I'm going to reach out to each of the counselors individually and talk about that a little bit. I'm going to have a job description in the coming days, so I look forward to talking to you about that. It's going to be a manager of special projects position, but again, I look forward to talking to you about that a little bit more. 57 Low Street, I know budget and finance is on the docket for budget and finance this coming Thursday. I'm really looking forward on reviewing all options to purchase this property. I am really hopeful that we can come up with a compromise on an order that gets us to 8 votes from the council. We have confirmed with DCAM that we do have until the 31st, but we really have made it clear to them that we need to be on the path of a purchase by that date. So again, I look forward to that meeting on Thursday, and I will be in attendance. And finally, to the city councilors, I'm working on setting up some monthly meetings with you. I know the last thing I want to do is add another meeting to your schedule, but I really want to improve the communication between the council and the mayor's office. So I'll be reaching out for one meeting a month with the ward councilors, and then one meeting a month with the at-large councilors. And it's just going to be an opportunity to sit around the table, maybe virtually at first, but eventually getting together and just sharing ideas and how we can move some initiatives forward in the city. So again, I'm looking forward to that. And I think that's enough for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Are there any questions for the mayor? I see I see one. Councillor Khan.
Great. Thank you very much, Mayor, for that update. It was very thorough and some good information. Just in response to the comment from the public comment and in terms of the update on COVID, and as you mentioned, you're on these calls with Anna Jakes, which is wonderful. How is the communication to the public, or as counselors, what do you recommend? Will you be doing anything on a weekly basis that we could tune into, or what guidance can we give to get this valuable update you just gave, but how could that be done more consistently for the residents? Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to start pushing out information in a lot of different ways. Councilor Khan, thank you for bringing that up. I was down at the NCM hub today, so we're going to start those videos through them. It's going to be kind of like a minute with a mayor type of thing. We're going to start that next week. And we're also going to push out that information on our various social media sites and through the website as well. Communication is a huge priority of mine as I take office here. So there's a lot of different ways I want to engage the public and utilize as many streams of media and ways we can get out information that we can.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I see no other hands, so I think that's it for Mayor's comment. Thank you, Mayor Reardon.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great meeting.
All right, Clerk Jones.
That leads us to the consent agenda this evening, which consists of But first, approval of 4 minutes. December 13th, January 3rd, school committee inauguration, January 3rd, city council inauguration, January 3rd, mayoral inauguration, those minutes. Following that, there are 4 communications. Application 60, which is for a secondhand motor vehicle license to go to license and permits. Likewise, application 61, LCA Motors to go to license and permits. Application 62, Newburyport Sunoco secondhand motor vehicle license, again to go to license and permits. Application 63 is for the 28th Frigid Fiber Road Race to be held February 6th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's a 5K rail trail at ending at the Riverwalk. That's to go to public safety. There are no transfers, 1 appointment, which is KP Law, Arch Street in Boston as city solicitor for 1 year until 2/1/2023. That's to go to general government. And that is the consent agenda this evening.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor McCauley. All those in favor, roll call vote.
I know, sorry. Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
and Council President Shan.
Yes.
Okay. That leads us to the regular agenda.
All right, mayor's update.
Motion to,
Receive and file.
well, we don't have anything in writing, so in the past, could skip it. I don't know. It's up to the president.
Yeah, I understand we do have something coming in writing, but we do not have it yet. So I guess we could skip it.
All right, moving right along then. First reading appointments.
We have the late file appointment 297, Dr. Robin Blair, 10 Dexter Lane to the Board of Health until January 10th, 2025.
Motion to refer to public safety.
Was that second, Mr. Councilor McCauley?
Yes, it was, sir. I'll speak louder. Yes.
All right, so motion to refer to public safety. Roll call vote.
Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right, communications,
None.
transfers,
Likewise.
second reading appointments.
Appointment 295, David Zink, 6 Laurel Road, to remain electrical inspector until 1/1/2023.
Motion to approve on second reading.
Second.
Second.
All right, did you get those two?
I did.
Okay, all right. So everyone understands motion to approve David Zink for its second reading. Roll call vote.
Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes.
Wonderful.
All right, moving on to orders.
We have orders, which are right here. As in orders, we have, the first order is 314, which is with respect to the Weston Fire Station land eminent domain action.
Motion to refer to budget and finance.
Second.
Discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Z,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next order.
Order 315, which is with respect to council meetings. I do believe there is one change to what you have in your packet, which would you like to talk to that, President?
Yes, I did notice in the packet, per our normal operating procedures, we have 3 meetings in August, I mean, 2 meetings in August and 1 in July. But then I noticed that the meeting that's the second meeting in September is also being held on Rosh Hashanah. So I did ask the clerk to move that to the Tuesday afterwards. So it would be the September 27th would be the meeting date.
Motion to approve as amended?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
And who was the second on that? I'm sorry.
Councilor McCauley.
Thank you. As amended. Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Z,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes. All right, moving right along.
Order 316 is the annual approval for the city council rules, now dated 2022.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, roll call.
Approving,
Would this be a good time to just point out a couple of things that need to be updated there?
Let me be, so what we do need to update, we can discuss during our offsite, and we can talk about that in the good of the order. Thank you, Mark, for bringing that up.
Okay. Thank you.
okay,
And then Councilor Khan, I see your hands up.
I think I was going to go along with Councilor Wright too, if there are, I guess, the process. And so that's fine if at our retreat. I wasn't sure if we were going to send this to the Rules Committee to give it a collective look as well over there too, as opposed to just approving them right now.
Well, per the current rules, we do have to approve the rules per 1B in our rules packet, but that doesn't mean that we can't amend them going forward. So I would say that let's hold off on discussing any changes until we do our retreat in at the end of the month. And then, yes, if we have to do any kind of actual changes, we can discuss it then. And discuss it in
Thank
the rules committee as well. Thank you for both bringing that up.
motion to
So-
approve.
Motion to approve. Roll
Councilor
call.
Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Z,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes. Ordinances.
Okay, so we have 2 ordinances. The first one is the one from last session that is before you with the veto. It's ordinance 84, street sidewalks and other public places.
Motion to receive.
and file.
Second.
That was by Councilor Wallace, correct?
And Councilor McCauley with the second.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All right, roll call.
On the motion to receive and file, Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Z,
Yes.
Councilor Shan.
Yes. All right. Moving right along.
Moving right along to ordinance 103, which is very similar to ordinance 84. It comes in with 2 sponsors. It comes in with a new unique identifier and is before you.
Motion to refer to neighborhood and city services.
Second.
Second.
Discussion? All right, roll call.
Counselor Cameron,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Khan,
Yes.
Counselor Lane,
Yes.
Counselor McCauley,
Yes.
Counselor Preston,
Yes.
Counselor Vogel. Counselor Vogel, you're on mute. I can see you saying that. Thank you.
Trying to get there. Yes.
Counselor Wallace,
Yes.
Counselor Wright,
Yes.
Counselor Zede,
Yes.
Counselor Shan.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Committee items. So Committee on Economic Development, we do have the parklet legislation. I do plan on having our committee meeting to also meet with the chair of the chamber in the next month so we can get that, the parklet legislation moving forward. Committee, the ad hoc on market landing. I did hear word from Director Port that Sasaki is looking to have 2 meetings in February. I'll get better dates and get those out to folks, probably the beginning of February and the end of February. So next committee item is Budget and Finance. Counselor Zede.
Nothing to report tonight. Meeting Thursday, 6:30, City Council chambers or hybrid via Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Zede. Education, Counselor Khan.
Yes, thank you, Council President. The Education Committee, as you know, has 3 members of the school committee who are going to be Member Menon, Bruce Menon, Member Juliet Walker, and Member Sarah Hall. So that will be the 6 of us. And our meeting will be actually before the school committee meeting will be our first one, our organizational one. And right now we're trying to figure out which date would work better. And when that is available, I will make sure to post. And I encourage other counselors who are interested in participating to please join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Khan. General Government, that would be me. That would be nothing to report tonight. So License and Permits, Chair Lane.
Nothing to report tonight. I will be getting a meeting on the books probably by Wednesday. I just have to check in on some timing. I know we have one item in committee, and that's the short-term rental legislation. So we'll be addressing that as well as the 2 permits that came in. That's all I got for you.
Thank you, Counselor Lane. Neighborhood and City Services, Counselor Wallace.
Nothing to report, but I will be getting in touch with Counselors Preston and Donahue to schedule our first meeting. And I would like to possibly set up standing meetings throughout the year so that we, can have just regularly scheduled meetings and make it a little more predictable. So that's all. Thanks.
Here, Counselor Wallace. Thank you.
Open to that.
All right. Counselor Cameron, Planning and Development.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So we do have the short-term rental unit ordinance in committee, which is a carryover from last year. So that'll be our first order of business. I'll be setting up times with Councilors Preston and Wallace to start to take that up. And I need to get myself up to speed on that as well. Councilor McCauley and I are going to be discussing that so I can get up to speed and see where we're at. And also, how that connects with license and permits as well. So we'll be moving forward on that. And we'll be working on a time and perhaps a regular schedule, although sometimes we also need to meet with the planning board, so that can get a little tricky, but looking forward to working with my 2 colleagues.
Thank you, Counselor Cameron. Counselor McCauley, Public Safety.
Thank you, Council President. There's nothing to report tonight, although we've got a tentative meeting. We'll firm it up for next Tuesday, the 18th. We'll discuss our appointment and our application at that time. And we'll be able to report back at the next council.
Thank you, Counselor McCauley. Counselor Vogel, Public Utilities.
Right. Nothing to report tonight.
And Rules.
So there is one outstanding rule that came over from last session. We'll be looking at that again with the sponsor and looking forward to the retreat, and we'll take a look at the rules all together.
Great. Thank you. Good of the order.
I do. I'm going to raise my hand.
Yes, please. Counselor Vogel.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. President. I just wanted to report that with our agreement with Global up on the gas station up on High and State Street, that indeed they have been living up to their promise of keeping the sidewalks clear. I drive by that intersection with regularity. And through the last few snowstorms, last couple anyway, they've been keeping it clear. And I wanted everybody to know that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Vogel. Any other hands? So I will say that I did get the bulk of the folks who were voting for the retreat voted on the 29th, which makes complete sense. Some folks wanted to do it maybe even later than 9. So I'll just take a poll here. What's the will of the council? Is 9 o'clock good, or do we want to go even later? Thoughts? 9 o'clock is good. We'll post it for that.
I think Jenny's got her hand up.
Councilor Donahue.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to still tag on to the good of the order. I just couldn't get my hand up fast enough because it's in a weird spot. But I just wanted to also piggyback on what at-large counselor just mentioned, in that I did get some updates from Global communicating that they're working with mobile and things are moving forward at what seems like a pretty quick pace. They have a deadline this week with mobile that is going to move some things forward, and then the residential planning is going to begin within just a few short weeks thereafter. So they again are doing what they said they would do, and I just wanted to give everybody that update as well, because I was getting the emails for those communications.
Thank you, Councilor Donahue. I will tag on to that. Director Port was looking for the documentation that we're supposed to be getting as part of the city council from Global. So I would look forward to seeing that by the end of the month in our council packet as an update.
Yes, I believe it'll be probably sooner than that, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything else? All right, I will post the Councilor McCauley.
So just a point of it's really a question about later start time. Are we looking to start this at 9, or do we want to start this at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm just asking.
No,
Yeah.
Are folks interested in doing it in the morning or in the afternoon? And this is good of the order, so we don't have to be too formal here.
Afternoon.
Are we talking about a Saturday?
Yes, we are talking about the last Saturday in January.
Yeah, I'd go with morning. I'm okay with morning.
I'll bring the
But,
coffee.
Well, Richard and I can make sure we've got coffee and munchies. I would say if 9 o'clock is too early, I would go to 10 o'clock, 10 to 12. Would that work better for folks? Councilor Lane?
I would prefer that. It's just in terms of pickup and drop off with my son. I don't know. That's my only conflict, but.
Perfect. We can certainly do 10 o'clock then. Does 10 o'clock work for everybody?
Works for me.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I will post the meeting 10 o'clock, 29th with coffee and munchies. All right.
It's a deal.
Sounds good.
All right. With that being said, any other hands for good of the order?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Roll call on a motion to adjourn. Councilor Cameron,
Yes.
Councilor Donahue,
Yes.
Councilor Khan,
Yes.
Councilor Lane,
Yes, please.
Councilor McCauley,
Yes.
Councilor Preston,
Yes.
Councilor Vogel,
Yes.
Councilor Wallace,
Yes.
Councilor Wright,
Yes.
Councilor Zede,
Yes.
Councilor Shan,
Yes.
and I learned my alphabet. Thank you so much.
All right. If I don't see everyone at Budget and Finance, have a good week. Stay cold, stay warm.
Great
Stay
first
safe.
meeting. Thank you.
Thank you
Good
all.
night.
Have a good
Good
night.
night, everybody.